everyone. Hey. As always, I will start at 5:03, so in 1 minute. Yay, yay. Thank you. All right, I'm trying to find Deltra. She always tell me I can't find it. Hey. All right. I'm going to get started. Oh, I got 1 more minute, I guess. Oh, it's 5:03. All right. Hello. So hello, everyone. I'm Monique, as you guys know. And today we're going to chat about matching energy and what the scriptures say about matching energy. Because it's such a cliche thing now. Y'all, Nadia talked about my bun. She told me it was time to take it down, so I unraveled it. So, when we think about that, we think about comments that people say, I can show you better than I can tell you. And also mess around and find out. You know, we have all these things. Let me know. You said basically you're setting the tone, and so let me know how we gonna operate today, this year. You know, I mean, they got all kind of different sayings, but the reality is, what does the word say about it? When I search the scriptures, I don't see anything about energy. We talk about spirits and demons. So what we really talking about? What demon we gonna operate in today? So I'm gonna match your demon? That sounds a whole lot different than I'm gonna match your energy. And so we have to be very careful when we start pulling and being a part of this culture that we really don't identify with, but we're pulling it in. We're slowly just pulling it in. So I want to talk about and then this one we don't think about, but everybody, grandmama, most of our mamas said this: I brought you in this world, I'm gonna take you out. We don't think about that, but as parents, we also have a responsibility how we should be talking to our children, what kind of atmosphere and spirit in which we should be dealing with our children. Now, that don't mean let your children do their own thing. That, I'm not saying that at all. But at the same time, we have a responsibility as to how we should handle them. Okay? So I have 4 personal situations that I want to talk about with this matching energy. The first one is I was at a friend's home. It was a large group of us, and we were discussing me and my comfort and my understanding about some things, and my involvement with the group. And this particular person got very upset, started cussing at me, just was going plumb Nelly crazy. And I stayed composed. I was so proud of who I am today. In that moment, I'm gonna just even say in that moment, I was proud of who I was in that moment. And because don't let the scriptures fool you. I'm still human and I still struggle, and I don't make any excuse about that. But some things don't trip me up like they once used to, right? So I didn't say anything. I let her say everything she wanted to say. I actually tried to grab her hand and try to reel her back in, like, sis, we going way too left. How we get here? And I mean, she was cussing. Like, I'm looking at her like, girl, are you okay? And I had the power to air all her business that she had shared about 90% of the people at that table. But I had to think, if I do that, one, I'm no better than she is. Two, now I done brought innocent people into this mess, because that's exactly what this is. I done brought innocent people into this mess, and what is it gonna do? So now you got a bunch of people hurt, and it's not even worth it. So, okay, you're letting me know how you feel about me, and we gonna move accordingly, right? So the next situation was with a guy I was dating. And I was dating him, and he made the decision that I wasn't the one and we not the two. Okay, I've been dumped 100 times, right? So no biggie. Okay, life goes on. I may cry. I give myself my little 2 weeks, and then let's get it together. So, but he didn't give himself 2 weeks. So we broke up. Backstory, we broke up on like a Wednesday. That Friday, he was on Facebook rubbing a lady's feet live, like, and talking about me. And I'm sure she probably didn't even know it, but he was making references about me. I didn't know he was doing this. People brought it to me. And then when he saw that these people saw what he was doing, he then decided, oh, shoots, let me go ahead and, sorry, I was getting all these dings in the background. Sorry. So let me tell them some stuff. 75% of what he told them wasn't even the truth. 25 was his opinion. Like, oh, she don't know how to treat a man because she don't have no daddy. And just things to try to tear down who I am. One thing about me, and I stand so firm on, even if we fall out, whatever your secrets are that you told me, your secrets remain your secrets. So I was hurt when the comments were coming back to me, because he went to multiple people talking about me, and I was like, dang. But I never said anything, because I was like, I don't get it. You didn't want to be with me. Why you got to dog me out? But okay, you setting the tone, no problem. The tone is you set the tone. However, I choose to operate how I'm gonna operate. We moved on. Still to this day, that brother is still trying to contact me. He's still sending me. I've blocked him on everything. He sent me emails. He's like still trying to get at me. Now I remember my grandfather married a lady. So she's my grandmother, right? And my grandmother said, make sure that you are so good to a man that he has to lie about how you acted. And so I kept that in the back of my head when I was dealing with him and his comments that he was making. But I was like, I know who I am. I could go toe to toe, but for what? We not the one, we not the two. Let's move on. But okay. Then my third thing was, and I think we've all experienced this, church hurt. So it's several incidences that I can bring up about church hurt, but just recently I had a situation where, when you're dealing with God's people, you got to have some tough skin. Let me start out by saying that, right? And in having that tough skin, you got to be able to say, okay, this is a hospital, and as a hospital, da 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 da. So I'm like, okay, sis, this a hospital. I know that you're wounded, and instead of me getting completely upset behind it, I gotta just remain. And I could do 3 things, right? I could have checked her. I could, hold on, I wrote my 3 things down, y'all. I could check her. I could leave the congregation, or I can choose to stay present and let my light shine. And so that's what I ultimately decided to do, even though it hurt, even though I'm like, wow, you created a situation that is not cool, and for what? Because you don't like me, because you didn't like something that I did. And so, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay that you got an issue with me. That's between you and God, because I didn't do anything to you. And if I have, let's have a conversation. But what you don't have to do is lie to me about why you made a decision. But it's okay. It's okay. And so the 4th thing is my teenager. And that go back to what I was saying about we have to be very careful. And so my daughter dealing with her hormones. I'm dealing with my hormones. I promise you I am perimenopausal. And so we got all these hormones jumping off in here. And it would be easy that when she is moody and she catch an attitude that I jump on that same level. Who you talking to? And what I've learned to do is just pray. I don't got to pray out loud. I don't got to be like, just pray. I've learned to just pray in my head. And I promise that within an hour, things start to really shift. Things start to really turn around. And so that's where I try to be. So the scriptures that, so like I said, when I was doing my studies, like I said, I don't see anything in the Bible about energy. I see it about spirits and demons. And like I said, if you just joined, so what am I choosing to match? Are we matching in the fruits of the spirit, or are we operating outside of that? And we know that the fruits of the spirits is in Galatians. Y'all, I need to have my glasses on. Galatians 5:22 and 23. And they are love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And if we do anything against that, then you operating. That's the fruits of the spirit is this. So the spirit is this. So if this anything outside of this, then what you operating in. And then when we understand that the world, we're a peculiar people, right? And so if I'm acting like the world, what makes me peculiar? What makes me stand out? And so now I'm just like the world, and I'm losing a level of influence because I'm just like the world. And so I got so many scriptures on here, y'all. I'm sorry. Like I said, we're a peculiar people, and that's 1 Peter 2 and 29. And how do I look if I'm peculiar, if I'm a royal priesthood? How do I look telling Ray, or I'll give them to you? How do I look telling Ray and Nay, hold my crown while I get this person told? It's easy to get a person told. That's why part of the fruits of the spirit is self-control. And so the reality is also, there is a truth that we can't get along with everybody. And that's okay. That's what I absolutely love about God. He really gives us everything. And so if you go over to Romans 12 and 18, he says, as much as it's possible within you. So as much as it's possible with Monique, be peaceable with all men. So there are some people I can't be peaceful with. Therefore, I had to distance myself. That doesn't mean match their energy. That don't mean, well, they cuss me out, I'm going to cuss them out. The reality is we're supposed to treat people the way we want to be treated, not how you're treating me. Now, that don't mean to allow people to mistreat you. You have the power to give people the gift of goodbye. I've talked about that several times. You do not have to stay somewhere and be mistreated. However, you have a responsibility and accountability for how you respond to people, because you're supposed to be the Christian. And so also the scriptures give us, if we look at Proverbs 24 and 7, it says, wisdom is too high for fools. In the assembly of the gates, they must not open their mouths. So wisdom is not for fools. That's number one. Number two, Proverbs 23 and 9 said, do not speak to a fool, for they will scorn you for your prudent words. So if you're trying to tell a fool, you're trying to get them wisdom, they can't receive it because they're foolish. And then we have Proverbs 26, 4 through 5 that says, do not answer a fool according to their folly, or you yourself will be like him. So now I'm matching your energy. Which one of us is the fool? According to the scriptures, both of us, because I can't tell one from apart. And I remember telling my daughter when she was little, and I would say, she was like, well, this person did this to me. And I would say to her all the time, but Nadia, if the teacher comes in the room and both of y'all up out y'all chair and y'all hollering and cutting up, she don't know who did what. But if you're sitting there and the teacher come in, even if you're the one that created the situation, they're more likely to believe what you said because you are the one that's at least acting like you got some home training. And so the same go for us. We need to just be very careful that don't waste your time on matching somebody's energy. Don't waste your time on the foolishness. It's foolish. Let it be. Whatever they said, I remember, I used to always feel like I had to defend who I am. Somebody said, well, they said, you said. I done got to a place where I'm like, whatever they said, I said. Because I can't change it. I can't change what you already have believed about me. You've already believed it. So whatever they said, y'all figure that out. Now, if you want to have an adult conversation, because, but my friend today said to me, and it was really powerful. She said, what a person says behind my back is not my business. That's a sermon right there. Some of us are mad at what somebody, because they didn't say it to you. So somebody told you that somebody said to, well, it's too much. It just keep it moving. It's so freeing. When I tell you, this side of life is so freeing when you're not worried about what people got to say about you, when you're not worried about what energy they bring in. I'm just going to stay who I am. And if I got to change who I am to be around you, then that's an issue. That's where we got to figure out, okay, it's time for me to move. So matching energy does 4 things. It satisfies the flesh. And we know that the scriptures say that the flesh is that sinful nature about us. So now I done cussed you out. I done did all that I wanted to do. And if you know me, you know that I had dogging you out down to a science. I would make you feel so bad. You would be hiding behind a shower rod. Not the curtain, the rod. But now what? Now I done did all that. And now what? So, and we look at 1 Corinthians 9 and 27, it says, allow no corrupt speech to come from your tongue. So now I didn't just, what did I do? My flesh may feel good in that moment, but after I do something, now I'm all, oh, dang. And then I create all kinds of scenarios in my head. Oh, I got a ticket. That's because I did it. So it's just so much easier to just stay down that path and just, okay, yeah, that's your thought. You created it. And Ephesians 4:29 through 32 says, and after all that, I'm required to get this right. And so, oh no, that's my note. I gotta look up. Oh, I'm sorry. The corrupt speech is Ephesians 4:29 through 32. 1 Corinthians 9 through 27 is you got to beat your flesh into submission. And so that go back to that self-control, because the Monique can get it. Y'all can all get it. But now what? You didn't got it. Now what? The second thing with matching energy is it says that that's why I always print my notes out. I apologize. Okay. That the second thing is it says that it causes one to sin. So like I said, I done got you told. So now I done sinned. And now we know that the wages of sin is death. And it's not that you die at that moment, but the relationship with God, there's a separation between us. Romans 6:23. So now it ain't even about this no more. I got an issue here between me and God because I done got you told. Now you hadn't behind the shower rod because I done made you feel a inch and a half tall. Now God is, now I got, it's all these because I let somebody be my puppet master because they set the tone and I'm like, okay, master, which way do I move? Come on now, we better than that. The third thing is you lose influence of man. This can cause your brother to stumble, or it can cause, better yet, somebody not to even want to become a Christian because they looking at me like, now you say you a Christian, you just cussed this person plumb out. You done told everything you knew about them, talked about they bald-headed mama, and now what? Now I want to say, will you go to church with me? I don't want to go to your church. Girl, your church not working on you. You need some help. You need to get deeper in them scriptures because obviously the God you serve, they can't touch you. So if they can't work on you, I know they can't work on me. So no, I'm good. I'm really good. And then the fourth thing is you failed the test because everything is a test. And so now you failed the test, and which would possibly delay your whatever it is that God had for you. So, not to say it won't happen, but there's a delayment because you haven't mastered this. There are some of us that haven't gotten the things that we've been asking God for because our maturity level won't let us have it. If I want to own a business and I don't even know how to handle conflict between my sister and I, how on earth am I going to be able to handle conflict between a customer and I? My sister and I, we see each other, we talk, we're supposed to have a relationship. There should be some grace, there should be some long suffering, there should be some all of this. Cause I know you and I know how you are. I know what spirit you're coming from. I can't handle, and Lord forbid, how we gonna have a husband? And speaking of that, I'm going back to the children now. The scriptures say that we're not supposed to, because I don't want to just say the scripture. So, Lord. In Ephesians 6:24, it says, provoke not your children to anger. We always want to quote, honor your mother and your father. And don't get me wrong, that's the first commandment with the promise. But we have a responsibility to our children too. You don't get to just talk to your kids any kind of way because they're yours. No, you didn't bring them in this world. You can take them out. Nope. That's not scriptural. It's cute, but it's not scriptural. And then what do you want a child to do with that? You so angry with me, you gonna take me out this world because you angry. But what am I supposed to do with that? I'm supposed to love on you, and when you want to talk to me again, I'm supposed to be like, oh, hey, because you're my mama. No, I got feelings too. It don't work like that. And then it don't just, and a lot of times parents have a hard time even apologizing. And I think it's so funny because you got parents, the very thing you wouldn't say to your man, my man, or my supervisor would be the very thing I say to my child. So I know how to have self-control when it comes to my man and my child, but I don't have no self-control when it comes to my man and my supervisor, but I have no self-control when it comes to my child. That's a problem. That's a problem. And you shouldn't have the attitude, well, I can say it to them, because you would be mad if somebody else out in the street called your kid bald-headed, but you didn't did it, but it's okay because I love them. That's not love. That's not love at all, and we need to stop teaching that. I remember a man told Nadia that because this boy was messing with her, and he said, "Oh, he likes you." I said, "Oh no, we don't teach that. We don't teach that men that put their hands on women or girls or whatever is because they like you. No, they put their hands on you because they don't like you. It's the complete opposite. We don't associate butt whoopings and beat downs by men as a form of love. You know, and I even had to, and I ain't saying that I ain't never whooped my child because I'd be lying because, you know, she then got it. But I've never beat her. And I also have learned not to discipline her in anger because what? So I discipline you in anger, and now we can't get past this. Because your children will grow up to have their version of the story, just like we got our version of our parents' story. And everything that our parents have said has not all, our version of what our parents have done hasn't always been great. And you don't want that. Do you want the version that your child has to say about you that is horrible? So again, the 4 points is when we match energy is we satisfy the flesh, which we know is the sinful nature. Number 2, it causes us to sin. And now we got a whole regret. And now you got to repent. You got to do all that. Number 3, we lose the influence of man. Because now people are looking at us sideways like, what? I don't want to go to your church. You need to be in your church. And number 4, we fail the test. And as we know, you fail the test, you got to repeat it. So, but if you master it the first time around, you're like, oh, okay, I can trust her with more. I can give him more because he's equipped. He's mature enough to handle the next level. It's just like a baby. You don't give a baby a pork chop. They start out with milk, you know, because that's what they can handle. And so you only can get what you can handle. And so if you can't handle a person having a bad day without you ready to knuckle up with them, then you're not ready. So that's it, y'all. That is the whole kit and caboodle today. I appreciate you for dropping on. I will give all the scriptures because I had a bunch of them. And so, also, when we don't act the fool on people, Romans 12:20 says it's like placing hot coals upon their head because they don't know how to handle that. When you don't respond the way like, I just went off on her and she not responding the way I just went off. They don't know how to take that. The enemy is confused. They like, what's wrong with her? And I've very seldom seen somebody that's standing there arguing with themselves. They just gone and just be like, okay. But if y'all can be arguing for hours on end if you just both going toe to toe, head to head. So that is it, y'all. I will put out, because I got about 20 scriptures up here. Let's see. Oh, and also, in this dark world, God says you will know my people by the love one for another. So if it's a love one for another, how on earth are we matching evil? Because that's what it is. It's evil. So how are we matching evil? It ain't energy. Don't buy the hype. Don't get caught up in what the world is saying is cute, because it's not energy. It's demons and spirits. So which one are you operating in? And we know the scripture say you can't serve two masters. You gonna hate one and please the other. So you got to make a decision. And it's not always easy. I ain't sitting here and saying that I got it mastered, because I don't. I still struggle, but I do see glimpses of my growth where everything don't bother me. It just doesn't. So next week, I think I'm going to do it on accountability, because we need to get some accountability. We need accountability that we have for ourselves, and we also need people around us that hold us accountable. I tell people all the time, don't laugh and joke me straight to hell. If you know I'm not doing something right, let me know. Let me know. So love me enough that you correct me in love. But we will talk about that next week, Lord's will. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Bye.